All right, St. Louis. I'm coming on again, St. Louis. Been coming on for the last few days. And the reason I'm coming on, St. Louis, is simply because I care, St. Louis. We have to travel deeper. Many of you don't necessarily understand what I be saying. We are living in darkness. The reason you're living in darkness is because your mind hasn't evolved. Everything that you see, unfortunately, is going to display darkness unless your mind has evolved. You're not going to literally see the darkness because it's not like a light or a sign of darkness per se. It's a sound. It's what keeps you from reaching a higher level of awareness and cognition. Just imagine being in a room and the room is full of smoke and you can't see beyond the smoke. However, you became accustomed to the room being smoke. So you didn't know there was something beyond the smoke, so you settled for the smoke. But yet, if you can strengthen in mind, you can cause the smoke to dissipate, and then you'll be able to see. But unfortunately, if your mind is getting weaker every day, meaning if you're dying every day, the smoke is going to remain. But yet you don't know there's smoke because you were born in the smoke. Your mama, your grandmama, your great-grandmama, your great-great-grandmama, everybody was born in the smoke. So as a result of being born in the smoke, you built your world inside the smoke. So as a result of building your world inside the smoke, you're trying to leave the smoke. So you build space shuttles trying to colonize the planet, but yet fail to realize if your mind is strengthened in power, you can get beyond the smoke and you don't need a rocket. We're going the wrong way. The mind itself has to evolve. Once it evolves, it causes the smoke to dissipate based upon your now current sound. But if your mind is not able to strengthen the laws of thermodynamics, entropy increases, chaos and disorder, you're going to encounter more and more smoke, but you think that's how it's supposed to be. So as a result, based upon the smoke, you're hallucinating. Your neurons, your synapses can't even process at the level in which they need to process in order to see what you need to see. You're actually blind, but yet you don't know you're blind. You've been blind born and you don't know it. You've accepted it. And as a result of being blind born, you're chasing after lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. Not only are you blind, you can't even hear. You can't process the information outside the smoke. You're in trouble. But you're really not in trouble because once you get it, everything else begin to exponentially improve. So as a result, you start to hear, you start to see for the first time. It's going to be scary initially because you never seen before. You've been always blind. Can you imagine a child that was born blind and at 30 years old begin to see? Can you imagine how they might feel? Because they've been blind for 30 years and that's all they know, and subsequently now they can see. They're going to look around and wonder what the hell is going on, but yet they were blind but didn't know there was more to see because they didn't know, no matter how much you told them, but they couldn't see. But once they awaken, they're going to still try to question things because their neurons and synapses can't process. I mean, it's processing now, but it never conformed to know that that was possible. This is exactly what's going on with us. You're born blind, but yet you think Johnny that's blind is blind. No, you're both blind. You're both in the same system. It's just that he's blind in the system, but you can see in the system, but you can't leave the system, but you're still blind. So everything was built in the system, including hospitals, oil, pharmaceutical companies, because being that you're blind, your neurons are not going to work effectively enough, so your cells are going to start mutating, making bad copies, so you're going to need a doctor. You're going to need a lawyer because you're going to have an accident because you can't go beyond what you see. You did something you shouldn't have done, but it wasn't you, it was your blindness. We can do this, but we have to think outside the smoke. It's imperative that we start to wake up. I know many of you don't understand me, but you must try your best to understand what I'm saying, because once you understand it, you begin to exponentially grow. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. You begin to see things as they truly are and not in a distorted view. We can do this. St. Louis, Chi-Town, New York, the Bahamas, Oregon, Florida, Alabama, Georgia. Because if we don't, you're going to stay in the smoke and you're going to think the smoke is home. But yet, your mind, once it reaches a full level of manifestation and power, you will leave. Literally, you will leave that prison. Until next time, remember, I love you all so much, and I'm going to fight for you. Trust me, I'm going to fight because I'm capable of fighting now. I have the capacity, and at one time I never did. It's our time, St. Louis. It's our time, and we're going to take that mountain by any means necessary. Trust me, faith is not an option. May God continue to cover you and give you strength to understand that you are that diamond in the rough. You are Alpha and Omega, first and the last. The time is it's not tomorrow, the time is now. God bless. All right now, St. Louis, time is now. God bless.